Hello. Right now, I'm doing gardening at the kitchen table. Um, I realized I can probably get most of the stuff that we would buy from the store and eat. I realized that would be in the stuff we bought from the store to eat, right? So why not try to use that? Let's see. My viewing frame is from here to here. Okay. So that's what I'm trying to do. But okay, so I could try to go on eBay and buy seeds, but it's like $10 to $12 per seed unless we buy a variety pack. Then you could get for $9 a million gazillion seeds you don't need. I want to plant one plant or two plants, not a whole field. I'm just a beginner. So I got some damp sand, and I'm using that instead of rock wool as my planting medium. You can see I just aerated it with a fork. I chopped it up with a fork, and then I just stuck 3 seeds in the middle. So whichever one grows the best. I'm gonna cover this in cling wrap to keep the container moist inside. Because I'm doing little piles like this, I might do like 2 piles per bowl. Here, I already did grapes. So this is called a grape transplant. I found like a root system leading up to one of the little piles of grapes. I cut the root off at a 45-degree angle, and then I also shaved about 3 millimeters off the end, and then I just stuck it in. But I put some honey on this one from a jar of honey. I read that honey or aloe vera can actually give more growth potential, probably from the sugars and stuff in it, to give it more energy to start rooting. But I don't think that's necessary. But I tried one with and one without. I have 2 here. So pretty much these are grapes from the store. They're seedless. You could not plant these if you wanted to, but they come with a fair amount of stalk. So I believe you can plant these and they'll start to, they're called transplants when you do this with tree branches. And these are still very green and not dried out. They're very fresh. And so I did the same thing with both to increase my odds. I might do a couple more, and I'll show you guys how I'm doing it. But you cover it so it creates like a little greenhouse effect, and it traps the moisture so it stays moist and it doesn't dry out. And then you just hope that it sprouts some roots in time. This is probably moist enough to last up to a month. Because what people will do for plain seeds is they'll put it into the bottom of a bowl with paper towel, damp. They'll just put a bunch of seeds in there and they'll wrap it up, and then they'll put the lid on and stick it in the refrigerator for a month. And then when you open it, there's a bunch of little roots coming out of the seeds. You pick the ones with the best roots and you plant it into a container in soil or whatever. So I could try that route, but I'm leaning more toward this route. This is too much like rock wool to ignore, I feel. Rock wool is basically melted down rocks that are extruded into fine filament. I don't know how they do it. And then they weave it together into a ball so that it's this aerated ball of molten rock. Well, molten rock is the same thing as silica, which is like a type of rock. And if you chop it up to aerate it, it's nice and fluffy and got plenty of airflow. That's why sand drains so well. So I believe it's about the same thing to just use sand, wet sand. I'm gonna label each one of these so I know what's what. It just dawned on me while I was feeding the baby, like, you know what? What if I just use stuff we already bought from the store and I try to turn it into a plant to do my own farming in my house, in the basement, in my dungeon. This is dungeon farming, guys. Dungeon farming. If you're on Twitch, you probably are in a dungeon playing video games. How nice would it be to not have to go shopping and wear a mask, right? So This is how to grow stuff in your dungeon that you bought on Amazon or whatever. Okay, so I'm just exploring this. Like I researched for like 3 days gardening stuff, so I'm learning quite fast. And when I say I researched 3 days, it was so interesting that I literally pulled an all-nighter twice over like a 4-day period. I researched a total of like 40 hours in 4 days. Or no, way more than that. Let's say 12, 24, 36, 48, 58, 68 hours in 4 days. Okay, so here you can see this has seeds in it. It's a sweet, let's see. It's called a mini sweet pepper. Great for snacks, salads, and grilling. My wife bought these. That means it's something I should grow, so we wouldn't have to buy it. It's something we would actually buy. I don't want to grow stuff we would not necessarily actually buy. That would be inefficient and dumb. So I already planted some of those. I might want to plant some more. Where did I put that tape? Oh, here it is. So I'm going to label this one. I've already done one of the peppers. It was a yellow mini sweet pepper. So I'm just going to create labels so I know what everything is. This is super experimental. Like, I've never done any type of gardening in my life, but I've done a ton of research. So I kind of know a lot, like to an insane degree. I probably know more than your average gardener who just kind of learned from the guy at Home Depot gardening department or something. Like, I did research, so I know a lot. Like I said, 78 hours of research, that's pretty substantial. Most people just read the directions on the seed bag. So I would consider myself beyond beginner, even though I've never grown anything. You little baby, you're choking on a blueberry. You need to chew it first, you sweet little baby. Okay, so yellow. Mini sweet pepper. All right, I put 3 seeds in there, so I might get up to 2, maybe even 3 coming out of here. I'll just clip away. That's called pruning. I'll kill with this. I'll just snap the root off of the one that is least healthy, leaving just one to come out of here. I want to create space so I can like slide some type of spatula under here and scoop up the whole pile to put it into a larger vessel. In the event that it does well and it starts growing like higher and higher, like up to here, and I see roots starting to come out of here, I'll know it's time. And I can also check the bottom. I can look through the bottom to see if the roots are coming out the bottom of the sand pile, searching for more sand, so to speak. So I'll transfer to a bigger setup over time. Gradually, I'll keep transferring it into more sand. I'm using sand because it's free for me. I can just get it around my house. I have access to a pile of sand. And I'm planning to do all my planting with sand. I'm going to do sand hydroponics. So basically, I'm going to use fertilized water, inject it into sand, and no drainage system. So it's going to be kind of like a deep water culture system because the bottom of the sand will be wet. But I'm not going to constantly have running water. I'm just going to feed it once a day. It will like drain down. Hopefully the sand will get aerated as the water kind of dries out on the top. I can make sure that happens by like not watering it too much. So hopefully the water will kind of distribute throughout all the sand and there will be enough oxygen getting in. So I'll just fill it with water once a day for like 5 minutes of water and then it's going to seep down. I'm probably going to use storage totes for tree-sized stuff. I'm planning to do a whole bunch of stuff right here and now. I'm going to do a peach tree from this peach. I'm going to do an avocado tree. I already did the 2 green grapes, the green seedless grapes. That's a bonus because they're seedless. I want to do a couple more transplants because I feel like the likelihood of that working is lower. This is actually really fun and interesting to me. I never had any interest before, but then people said the end of the world could be coming. And so I was like, you know, it wouldn't be bad to become a prepper. So now I'm a prepper. I pretty much have always been a prepper in a way. I always had this idea, like, what if the world ended and I would know how to do things afterward, like zombie apocalypse. I'm into like zombie stuff. I like The Walking Dead. So it kind of fits my personality and lifestyle anyways, of just kind of trying to know how to do everything. And this is something that's a knowledge gap of mine. Oh, you liked it. Very good, Bob. So now I'm trying to fill that knowledge gap. I'm planning to try to make all of my food now from home. So I'm going to do a salmon farm, and I'm going to do and that's going to be indoors, by the way. Everything's going to be indoors almost. Because most of this stuff, okay, so depending on what type of hardiness zone you live in, you have to do stuff indoors if it's a tree that will die from the winter freeze. So you have to, if you live in a climate that gets kind of cold in the winter, you have limited options. But if you do it in the house, you can grow anything because you can control the temperature and humidity. And so that's why I'm going to do most of my stuff in the house. Plus, I mean, who wants mosquitoes and stuff, right? Now, I want to do some of it outside. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to do a little bit outside, like some fruit trees. But the majority, I want to do in the house. All right, and I'll give you guys a close-up so you can see exactly how this is done. I got them on the top right now. So what I'm going to do is just push it in a little bit, nestle it in there, and then slightly bury them or slightly cover them up a little bit. But nothing too crazy because I want to be able to easily find them so I can check on them. There we have it. So that's how I did it. You can still kind of see it a little bit, is the idea. This is hilarious that I'm getting all these seeds for free. It just dawned on me, like, I was planning to buy seeds this week, and I don't have to wait on that now. I can buy seeds for stuff that I don't have, but it's like if you eat it, you have the seeds probably, if it's a seeded plant. And most of the stuff I want to grow will be seeded. Okay, so we've got red mini sweet pepper and yellow mini sweet pepper now. These little tangerines right here, can you see it? Right here. I've been looking for seeds. If I can even find one seed, then I can plant this thing. But I can't find a seed. I really want to plant this thing now, and it's making me mad. I mean, I like that it's seedless, but usually you'll find like one seed, right? When you're eating something like this, there will be that one token seed. And I can't seem to find a single one.